floor and you feel the pumping of the wheel. To find the glory, got to make your life shine. You gotta be working to get the woman and the wine. Kick the beat and get your hands in the air. Shuffle the beat cause it's an African affair. To Buffalo Park and our home at St. George's. We're bringing the silverware back on the borders. That's the way of the warrior. That's the way of the warrior. That's the way of the warrior. That's the everyday warrior.
Sit down, coming out of PE town. Got a drink, find a shot, never mind your liver, get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle, have a Gino shot.
Gino shot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle, get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Center Stage.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gino's Spot. And cheers to you and our sponsors as well. Of course, Pitched Leads, as well as our Amobia for our internet. We've got our new chairs in place here today. We've got our new, little bit of a new studio, and I've got my Christmas trees up. How about that? I don't know if any of you have done that, because I thought, well, it's possibly a little bit early, but what the hell, get into this Christmas spirit as soon as you can. So welcome, Gino Spot. Fantastic to have you. Fat Cats Catering. Yes, thank you very much. Can you see Fat Cats over here? They've brought us, Grace has been very kind and brought us in brought some lovely food in to grace us with her presence as well. And then also, obviously, like I said, Fitch and Leeds have been with us from the very beginning. Fantastic to have them as well. And tonight we have two very interesting guests. We have got the Chamber on tonight. We've gone up to the Chamber. I've said to them that they're looking out on the mountain. They're standing on the mountain, looking out over the city of ours and this area of ours, and seeing everything that's happening business-wise. And so it'll be fantastic to have a little bit of an overview as to what's going on in our metro. Wouldn't that be wonderful? And so let us know where you're watching from, what you're drinking. Pour yourself a little drink. How's it to the weather guru? Nice to see you on as well. Of course, Garth Sampson. We've had some rain. Hell, we've had some rain. Woo! My tanks are like they were full. They were empty, and then they were full, and then I used them a bit, and then they're full again. So I'm very, very happy with that. And I see a couple of comments already coming in there. Who else there? Michael Clements, Ruben Snyders, of course. Ruben, lovely to see you as well. Vocalists, they're in here. And Michael Clement, nice to see you as well. On the beachfront, have you been sending some pictures up on the drinking milk? What was it? B.A. Baracus that used to drink milk from the A-team. Michael, lovely to see you on as well. And like I said, fill up your glass. We're going to have a great chat tonight. And we're just about going to go straight into it, indeed. We're going to go straight in. But before we do, I'm going to just remind you that we have our Magnificent 80s show this weekend. Magnificent 80s is one of our flagship shows. You can check all the guys there. We've got a huge 11-piece band, incredible musicians, and the full brass section. It is the most insane band, and they're so tight. It's been great fun playing the show. I feel like I've gone back to my roots with a bit of rock and roll drums, and of course the 80s is my favorite as well. The 80s is just the best. That is all at our new venue. The new venue, of course, center stage at Bay West, which is at Bay West. Entrance one, upper level. All you got to do is you got to go up the upper level and you just walk in 20 meters. We're right there. Boom! And beautiful venue. It's I call it a cabaret venue on steroids. It's a big cabaret venue, lots of space, and we've got the bar there. We've got some food provided there as well. It's going to be a really amazing experience. You go in there, it's beautiful. Walk into the wall. The Hall of Mirrors is there as well. I see Cheryl Reynolds. How's it? Watching from my couch. And they're looking forward to tonight, of course, because we've got Denise van Huyssteen and Siyolo. They're both on tonight. We are going to be chatting to them. Michael, I don't live on Marine Drive. Oh well, I'm sorry to hear that. What are you going to be taking photos of then now, Michael? We'll have to go down to the beachfront to take some more. 11-piece brand with brass session. I'm telling you, it is insane. And not only that, we've got the pantomime coming soon as well. The pantomime is the PMAD's flagship show, which of course runs for 21 days, non-stop. It just goes, and it's from the 3rd of December over the whole season. And Bay West has gone to town on the Christmas decorations and the stuff as well. We've got a whole lot of Christmas stuff, proper Christmas stories. Mimi Rupp, watching from Orma, fantastic. Villiers Road, Mimi, yummy lamb. There we go. There's your Cinderella. There's your pantomime. It's called the Ice Queen's Enchantment, and it runs from the 3rd of December to the 22nd of December. So get your tickets from Quicket. Take your kids. It's that's all. A pantomime is always an experience. So if you haven't experienced a pantomime yet, you've got to get down there and have a go at it. I see Lindy de St. Pern. How's it, man, Lindy? That's one of the SPAR people as well, because with Siyolo, of course, we've got from SPAR here tonight as well. All right, well, let's not bugger around anymore. I think let's get it going. We can put our little introductory video on, and we'll get our guests in. Let's do this. Where is it? Down a little bit? Is it? Oh,
Ooh, welcome to the show. Now it's your time to shine. We're gonna have a chat tonight. Another good time.
Because I know I'm probably sounding a bit soft, but it's because I've pulled the mics in for our special guests, Denise and Siyolo. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Gino.
Fantastic to have you on.
It's good to be back.
I know you've both been on before,
Yeah.
and I always said we've got to do an update because
Correct.
you guys are like Denise, you were saying you forget what goes on from week to week because it's just so much happening. I know. And do you think it's correct to say that you guys have got this a bit of an overview as to what's happening in the town as opposed to other things? What do you think, Denise?
No, I think we definitely have our finger on the pulse. And it's actually amazing all the stuff that happens and the things that you can talk about and what you can't talk about. But I think probably more than ever before, we've got a very good view of everything that's happening. I mean, we meet with all sorts of people all day long. They come with problems that they look for you to solve.
Well, certainly since you've been involved in Siyolo as well, it seems to have taken a step up in terms of just accessibility. Yeah. Was that one of your goals, or?
Yeah, I think it is most definitely being accessible, and I think we are just so blessed. I think to have a board like we have. We have a board that is driven, that wants the city to succeed and succeed very, very well. And what we're seeing is that the people of Port Elizabeth are responding to the chamber and the things that is being done at the chamber. And for us, that is exciting. And I think we are there to add meaningful value. And again, Denise has got a strong team at the chamber. And I met them a few days after I took over. And I must say 90% of the people that work there are ladies, if not more than 90%. And that's why you're getting so much done, you know. You know what they say. You want something done, you give it to a lady. So the chamber is very, very much accessible. And I took over from Lois, so I think we also drove a similar kind of agenda, making it accessible and for people to see what the chamber does and the benefits of becoming a member. So we're seeing the fruits of that now.
It's like to join to join a team, something that's moving forward, and it's so important. And what you've done, the difference that I've seen. I mean, maybe I'm just getting into it because our business has sort of grown. But it certainly feels like it's part of this machine that's driving the city forward.
Yeah. Look, definitely chambers on the high. And I always say to Denise that now is the time to get people behind you because they see value in what you're doing, and where people find value, they want to be part of that. And that's what's happening now. I mean, we are seeing record numbers in terms of people, companies joining this.
I'll say membership.
Denise got all the numbers. But now we're seeing a record number of businesses joining. Again, that says a lot about the work that is being done.
And I think it's also because we've got this action-orientated approach, and people are tired of talking and seminars and workshops and no action behind that. So we're trying to drive a behavior change. But I think what's also been key is that we're there for everybody, because you mentioned that earlier, and whether it's small businesses or big businesses, we're apolitical. We really don't care who's in power. You know, we don't have any other agenda but what's in the best interest of the local economy and employment.
It's kind of economy driven, but you know, it's always saying that capitalism is like a harsh thing, you know. But if
depends who you're talking
to. If it takes care of the people, then it's different.
But I think we're different because we've actually been a very collaborative group of business people, and it's actually been phenomenal to see the things that business people in the city are willing to do for others. And I think that's what separates us maybe from other organized business organizations.
It's not a competitive thing. It's more like, okay, let's build a city.
It's about building. It's about building and realizing the potential that this city has. I mean, Nelson Mandela Bay has so much to offer. I mean, you look at other cities in the country and what they do and what they have. I mean, compared to them, we have quite a bit that we need to explore. I think there's lots of opportunities that we can still extract from the Bay.
I mean, people always focus on the easy ones. It's like, oh, we got the beaches and the thing. The tourism sector should be growing as well, but not yet. How is it looking?
We're going to talk about that now.
I mean, I know you're talking about like cruise liners and stuff like that. I mean, is the tourism, because that's the first thing that people think of. Okay, PE's got the beautiful beaches. We've got amazing game farms. It's the farming stuff around, and is the tourism industry seeing?
No, I think look, tourism is going through difficult times at the moment, and we have a lot of challenges in the city, as everybody knows, especially around safety and security and so on. But I think as organised business, we've been very focused on resurging the Bay and getting the basics in place. So that's been the initial priority. So we've been mobilizing and organizing everybody around the city into what we call clusters. And then everybody works together to address common issues. So you find in the different clusters that they have different projects.
These are geographical clusters.
Yes.
We touched on that before. Is it,
so the beachfront, for example, has a cluster. So there are 11, but Siyolo should.
The clusters.
They were the trailblazers, and that was the first cluster that was established.
Look, I think it started in PE a long time ago. Yes, I was young then. I must have been in my 20s, early 20s.
It was 1950s then.
Correct. More than 40s. So, I mean, I was working for SPAR. I just joined the company. I think at the time, the Perseverance cluster was called the Perseverance Industrialists. Okay. So once in a while, there'll be a meeting about anything, obviously, concerning companies that work there, things of similar interest. So we'd meet about crime and everything else. So it sort of was on and off for a while. And then about 3 years ago, we decided we need to formalize this thing. And get companies to become a member of this cluster, and we called it a Perseverance cluster. And it's a business association, actually. So, I mean, we've got 26 members now. From today, there's about 45 companies in Perseverance. So about 50%.
So Borbit's next to you guys there.
Borbit, Wolford Audi. So the guys are all members. We contribute an amount a month to make sure that this funds for us to fix what needs to be fixed. So it's going very well. In fact, we had our meeting again today, and there's certain things that we have identified as opportunities that we need to do just to lighten the place up, clean it up a little bit, to attract more investment into the Perseverance area. So that's why we got together. We all have similar interests. We all have central offices that are outside of PE. And I think when you want them to come for a visit, you want them to come to a place that looks neat, a place where they feel like they can invest more of their money in it. So
you're doing cleanups and stuff like that as well.
So those are the kind of things that we're looking at. We have robots that have been worked for a long time. We got confirmation last week that they're going to be fixed because the cluster has been pushing for them to be fixed. And we said to the municipality, look, you fix them, and then we'll put some cameras and we'll make sure that they're monitored and don't disappear. So now I think we're in the process now of putting up our cameras. So that should be done by the 18th of November. And then from the 19th, the municipality is going to come in. They're going to put up the robots, and that's something that we can claim because we've been pushing very hard.
But when Siyolo and Brenton and the guys approached me, that's when I was first at the chamber. Then they spoke about what they're doing and would the chamber support them, and that's how we got involved. And then we ended up, we thought it was an experiment. But little did we know that this would take off in the way it did. And in the beginning, when we started the first clusters after Perseverance, and I remember we'd go to a company and you'd invite all the businesses there, and you have to brief them on this thing called a geographic cluster, and you're also asking the businesses to spend more, to do more, and it's easier to spend than to actually invest your time and volunteer. And we had a lot of pushback in the beginning, and but if I look at today now, we've got 11 geographic clusters around the city. And when the new clusters start, people don't even question anymore. It's like, where do I sign?
It's normal now.
People want to.
And I think people realize that this is how we're holding the line in the city. Because if it wasn't for these geographic clusters, if you take Barkens Valley, for example, that cluster, they've just cleaned up Brickmakers Kloof. And people probably don't know how that happens.
So that's part of the cluster. Is John Whitfield and those guys in St. George's, is that also part of it?
He's the chair of that cluster. In fact, they've got a fundraising concert next month where they bring in just Ginger and Rubber Duck and so on.
Rubber Ducks come in. They've got an amazing concert down there in the valley. That's going to be really cool. And so that's also a cluster down the valley, the valley as well. And then
there's one in Summerstrand as well.
Summerstrand too.
So there's plenty to do. Look, we still get pushback. I think you approach a company, you ask them to join, but they're like, I'm paying rates, so I must.
Also pay this.
But it's not about that. And I think it's about us making sure that we have businesses that can operate normally. Businesses where you don't have any abnormalities in terms of all these things that should be offered by the municipality that sometimes not working as well as they should. So
especially in terms of, like you were talking about infrastructure, like like the robots and the things. I mean, these street lights. I don't know how they're going to stop this stuff. I mean, it's just
and it's become normal now. You drive around, you see a robot that's working. You're like,
so it's a surprise.
And it shouldn't be like that. No, it shouldn't be like that. But again,
so then cameras and if you mobilize the people, more people, you've got more policing. You've got.
But I think it all goes back to 2016 when we started with political instability in the city. And if you look at that dysfunction and then how it rendered the municipality where it became ineffective in terms of delivering services. So until you have political stability, it's difficult to have economic stability. And I think what we've done as a business community has been necessary because if you don't have the basics working, then disinvestment happens. So
we're not interested.
And I think we as a business community, I mean, when we realized the extent of the issues we faced in our environment, we had to make a decision, and our board decided that we actually want to be here, we want to stay here, and we're going to actually proactively try and drive the change we want to see in the environment around us. And that's why we've been adopting substations, adopting leaks.
Yes. Tell me about this.
These things,
adopting so electricity substations and you're going to solve a leak or whatever you're going to do. And as there was each business, do the businesses actually come in and will they do they finance it, or how's it
So
work?
in Perseverance, so we've also adopted a power station, a substation. So basically what we do is we put some cameras up so that we can make sure that
Security.
it is secure and nobody's going to go in there and sabotage, or whatever you want to call it. And it's important for us. I mean, if that substation goes down, you're talking about 46 businesses without power for a long time. So if we can prevent that from happening, why not invest in it? So we've been doing that for a while now.
You can almost form the cluster around it, because it's like, hey, listen, guys, this is our project here.
But power is everything, because I mean, people also with the load shedding, where we've had so many days without load shedding, they don't realize the risk we still face with vandalism, and then also these unplanned power outages. So what we've also been doing as a business community is we've also been gathering people with technical expertise. So they're engineers at companies like Aspen Pharmacare, VW, and so on, and we've been putting them in task teams to solve problems. So one of the areas we got involved, for example, was the sanitation system, where through the efforts of the team, and we don't do handouts or anything like that, we've been working with the municipality, and there's good people in the municipality, and we've been helping them to come up with the right plan and to implement it, and the efficiency rate of the sanitation system has improved from 15% to over 80%.
Wow.
And then with the electricity issues, we've been tracking all the outages, so we know immediately when they happen. So all the clusters are on our phones, so we have every cluster, so you know when there's the water leak, you know everything that's happening.
There's water leak down. So you remember of all those WhatsApp groups. Oh my word, your phone must never stop.
No, but
The amount of participation that's out there, it is amazing. I mean, you took crime, for example. So we know that there's certain police vehicles that are not working. Okay, so you've got companies that are saying, bring it to us and we'll help fix it.
Oh, fantastic.
And the thing is, you don't even have to ask twice. You ask once and people want to get involved. So that is what the chamber has done. It is to just ignite that Ubuntu.
When you think about it, though, it also helps. It's like, okay, I fixed that car. And also, if you're on a group with a whole bunch of other businesses that are feeding each other as well, in a way, you almost want to say, listen, hey, guys, I'm helping doing this for nothing, whatever, check this out. And then the other guy's going to be, hey, he helped out there.
Correct. Because we all want to build, we all want to make sure that the city
the whole
succeeds.
city.
Correct.
But I think a positive spin-off from all of this has also been the camaraderie. We're all different business people now, we all know each other, and the friendships that have been created, and also the other areas of collaboration where we're doing community projects together and all sorts of other areas. And it's also nice for me, because I come from the auto industry, to see how the auto guys are all working together and not treating each other with the extended from a
It's not
distance.
competitive. Really,
Because we all have the same goal. We want the city to succeed. And this Bay of Opportunity that we're calling it.
Yes, it's a new name.
We believe in it.
I like it. The Bay of Opportunity.
Very catchy.
It was a scribble
on Denise's board. I walked into office and I was like, come on, I'll show you something. But it's such a nice, positive thing.
So this Bay of Opportunity
brings hope. That's what it does.
So is that the catchphrase now for the chamber? Love that. I love that, because it's and all the like you said, all these companies working together and I mean, this is why in a way why I've got this show going is to so people can watch it and get to know people, other business people in town. And if you know what kind of people they are, it's much easier to connect. That's what I hope. That was the hope.
But I also think our city's greatest strength is our people. They call us the friendly city, but I think we really are. And we've had lots of national organizations come to see us because they're hearing about the buzz in the city. And they're very intrigued by what's happening. And we're even getting people saying, but they need to do this in other metros. And have you done a study on what you're doing? Because we need to take this as a best practice. So then what I do is I just turn my laptop around and I show them my board and I say, that's
the guys.
It's emotion, and we rub it out as we go along.
But having said that, there is a lot of work that needs to be done. I mean, I was watching the news last week and discovered that we're hosting the G20 summit next year. And there were 3 cities that they were looking at. So eThekwini, Joburg, and Cape Town to host this thing. Okay? Now you're talking about millions of rands in terms of investment into the city. That's,
of course.
and the fact that we were not even considered as PE, it hurts.
I know.
It hurts. And that's why I'm saying there's a lot of work to be done for us to advertise the city and promote it well. So that we don't become like a second cousin or second consideration or fourth consideration, whatever.
That consideration of things coming in here needs to, the business needs to see that vision as well before they invest. It's like we need big conference venues, but when are those conference venues going to come? It's when people show interest.
Correct.
So it's like it's a cart before the horse or the egg before the chicken. You know, what comes first?
But momentum is there. Okay. Momentum is there, and that's a positive thing. You know, momentum is there. People are buying into this thing, and the more we do, the more successes we're going to have as a city. Hopefully one day, we can host.
Place to grow. We've got a place to grow.
It does.
We've got the right. I feel like the property market here is depressed at the moment. Undervalued. Which PE has kind of always been, but every now and again it takes a big jump.
But to me, it also starts with a mind shift change, where we often our own worst enemies, and we let people call us the armpit of South Africa and names like that.
Armpit.
No, but and we also talk our own city down, and I think we need to get much more positive about a city, recognize the strengths, and what we've also been doing is we've been forming partnerships with national organisations now, because we want to make sure when they're looking at things like the rail system or the ports, that Nelson Mandela Bay isn't the forgotten city like Siyolo was talking about now. We must be right up there.
The rail. What's the story on the rail at the moment? Come on, is it bad news or good news?
I'm staying away from that part.
It's Transnet. I mean, there's so much. It's like, you know what? I look at it as like it's like when you build in your house and you say, I just want to move a door out over here, but then you hit it out and then you realize you have to put a lintel across there, and then you need your structural engineer to come in. So it's all these things like Transnet, move the tanks, but then
we've been talking about it for a long time. Look, I think you've got Michelle Phillips there now. I think she's been in the job for probably just over a year, just under a year.
Okay.
And I think we need to give it time. I think Transnet is a massive business. Lots of moving parts.
Someone that I should have on the show, Michelle Phillips.
Maybe
she's from here.
She's from. So maybe we just need to give her some time. And look, there are some frustrations. With companies that are complaining that it takes too long for them to access their products because they're sitting on a ship on somewhere on the ocean. We are working with Transnet very, very hard to make sure that business doesn't suffer. You're kind of a guy having to fly things over, where they can just ship them because it's cheaper. So we are working with them. We're working very, very hard with them, and Denise is driving that.
The fuel dock. That's the other thing, the fuel thing, the pipe that's broken. Or
I was hoping you were going to raise that issue after my third drink.
I think Siyolo is very passionate about this.
I must be honest, the first time I heard about this, I said to Denise, no, you've got to be kidding. So look, there is no ways that we are going to be made to pay more for fuel. Because of an accident that happened at the port, which we never caused. Okay. So it was raised, and then a few weeks later, it became a bit topical again, and then it went quiet. Third time around, bang! We get hit with this thing.
The fuel price.
I'm saying, look, it's not a fair, or it's a very unjust decision. I mean, people are still battling with electricity prices, which are high.
Of course.
And now we get this. After the latest fuel increase, I think we're paying R1.65 more than what we should be paying for fuel. And
per litre.
Per litre.
And we should be outraged. And the fact that we are not talking about this. It's actually, it doesn't make sense to me, because I'm outraged. Because it's not fair. Again, it's not a fight with Transnet. I mean, accidents do happen. But again, it's a decision that was taken for us to fund the cost of getting fuel into the city. that for me is unfair, and it's something that we've gone to court on the issue. So we are trading papers at the moment with the government, the Department of Energy and Minerals.
Okay.
And
Who actually makes the call on that? Is it the group of fuel providers?
Well, these are the
suppliers?
questions that we're asking. So we're asking them, how did you arrive at
How
this
do you-
decision? And so we're waiting for them to come back to us. We're expecting the response, I think tomorrow it is, tomorrow, Thursday.
tomorrow.
And then we'll see what that looks like, and then we'll see whether we need to what is it that we need to do as a chamber.
Is fuel more expensive in Pofana or in
Well, the
Springbok?
problem we have is that we want to fight this thing, but obviously we're an NPO. We don't have the deep pockets, and so we need to not reconsider, but we just need to look at their response and decide how we're going to go.
But sorry, you're talking about the cost of fuel. If you look at, we've analysed the data, and like Nelson Mandela Bay, if you take our city and then you go out to Kariga, they pay even more than we do, and Sunday's River even more as a result of these changes.
Because further from the city, so
Yeah.
the further you are, the more you pay.
Yeah.
So the farmers are actually getting nailed by this as
Yes,
well for their
yes,
tractors and
That's
their...
why I'm saying, why are we not outraged? Now, look, I'm not inciting. All I'm saying is it's not fair. And we should be asking questions and demanding answers. That's what the chamber is not doing.
And also they didn't consult with all the affected stakeholders when they made the decision. And then the other thing is mitigation solutions. What other solutions did they consider instead of just transferring the cost to the consumers? What else could have been done? So I think that's what we want
So
to
waiting
know.
for their response. Maybe somewhere in the response there is something that makes sense.
Yeah, where it's an accident. It's like if there's a flood, the national government will help the flood victims and the things. We don't just say, oh, we're just going to increase your rates now because you're all wet.
We need to clean up the mud.
You can't do that. It's crazy.
Yeah, look, it's
and it also seems like it makes it these little bubbles all over the country. That's not the way to run a country. That's not the way to be. We are one nation. We one. Come on.
It's unfair, and that's why we challenge it.
Oh well, I'm glad you are. Siyolo, I'm with you. If you need me to come and toy, I'll come.
No. Let's not incite.
Okay.
Let's not incite.
Okay, we won't incite anyone. Roseanne Shedrack's got a... How's it, Rosie?
I think let's get...
private sector is blessed to have an organisation like NMB. See the likes of Siyolo and Denise mobilising and driving tangibles. I couldn't finish that, but it's... Ruben saying these people are doing good work. You're right, Ruben. Look at that with your tree there as well. And then Jenny Wilson saying well done to you. Saying well done to you as well. 'Cause you are leading this thing as well. You're leading the charge, and like I said, the leadership I can see that has made a difference. The fact that because you've got to pull these guys into your team obviously you get the right guys in and you,
again, great board we have.
Yeah.
When we raised this issue with the fuel, and obviously we went to canvas, and again, the board members were there. We got this is unjust. Let's fight for it. Let's fight for business. Let's fight for people that live in the city.
Yeah, I see. Oh, Jenny Honspan. Jenny, of course, does the Volksfeest.
Hello, Jenny.
She's the Volksfeest lady, and she brings it back year after year. So absolutely a contributor to our economy.
We support them.
Fantastic.
We support them.
And there's Odette Byron as well. Odette is also in HR Continental Tire. And she was at Varsity with us. I think she was. Yeah, she did Kosovo with me, in fact.
1920.
Well, a little bit after that. and Roseanne said, I see Odette Byron on the platform for the future. That's, there we go. Omri Sampson as well, Denise for mayor. Why don't you go for it?
No. I'm interested in politics.
I'm voting for you. Come on. We need people that don't want to be politicians.
You've got to stay longer than a year and 2 months now.
I always say
break your record.
when you get a bouncer at a club.
Yeah.
A lot of those oaks shouldn't be bouncers because they're becoming bouncers because they want to beat people up. Now, if you don't want to be a politician, that's when you should be a politician. That's my thing. Is you want to be a politician because you want to be make a lot of money out of tenders. That's the wrong reason to be a politician.
No.
You need to be one person that no, don't pick me. No, you're it. you're in, I'll vote for you.
Maybe it's your calling. You don't know yet, Denise. Maybe it's your calling.
But on a serious note, I think for me it's all about people, and I think we have enough business leaders and people that care about the city, and I think we've all been standing on the sidelines for many years, and we've allowed all the chaos and everything to happen without doing anything about it, and hoping that someone else will solve it. And I think the realization now is there that if we want things to change and to be better, we have to roll up our sleeves and be part of that. And I think what's nice for me has been the way we've been able to pull different types of people together. And it's small businesses, it's people that are entrepreneurs from townships, from big business, that we're all on the same page because we all want the same thing. So we focus on what unites us rather than what divides us. And to me, that's how we can get things moving forward.
Brilliant. But, you know, the leadership is important, and I'm going to stick on this because Siyolo would agree with me, I'm sure. The way you dealt with stuff over the years, I remember with Delta and with GM, you were the spokesperson. It was always Denise van Huyssteen says. You had to stand up, put your hand up, and so you've had that experience. You're like, you're okay. You're okay with it. You know, and that's what we need. That Siyolo's the same now because you're heading up SPAR. You take the brunt of things that happen. Who's a SPAR guy? Siyolo. If something goes wrong, you know, it's Siyolo.
The good and the bad.
The good and the bad. The good and the bad. You get the accolades as well. You know, I think Denise, you often didn't get the good. You got a lot of the crap all the time.
I've dealt with company exit and retrenchments and all sorts of.
I mean, your experience with Isuzu was from your interview last time that I remembered clearly was the fact that people didn't know. You had to, I suppose, non-disclosure agreements and whatever that you had to have secret meetings, and you're trying to save 5,000 jobs. You know.
No, and I think that's what we're still trying to do. My reason for doing what I'm doing is to save investment and employment in the city because I don't want any more jobs to be lost, and I think we can create them too. And if all the energy is right, and I don't think it's about being naive and saying the problems aren't there. It's more about solving problems and putting your energy and focus in the right areas. You know?
And just going for it. If there's a mistake made, at least you're at the frontier. You know. Sure. There's still something happening. You're still going for it, and then people can correct you and can help you. And oh, sorry, I made a bugger up. It's fine. Let's go. But this is a problem we need to solve. Let's solve it. So it must be, you must have to keep an open mind a lot of the time as well.
I mean, I remember when I first joined the chamber and you're sitting in like these electricity meetings, and what do you know about electricity? You know, where you come from automotive, and then people don't take you seriously. They kind of ignore you. But now I think, you know, like because you keep asking questions until you understand. So for me, it's to understand the issue, and then once you understand it, it's like, how can you solve it? And I think no idea is a stupid idea, and you've got to consider everybody's ideas, and the best one wins. So it's not about personal ownership. It's what's in the best interest of the collective. That's how you do it.
It is.
But I mean, also when we were talking earlier about the Bay of Opportunity, for me, something I honestly believe, but I don't think enough people believe, is that we could be the next frontier for growth on this continent if we do things properly, and if we really pull together, if you get all the stakeholders working together in the Bay, because if you look at the Western Cape, it's oversaturated. If you think of the potential that could be developed here.
You can't.
I mean, we're a two-port city. You look at all the things, and you look at the manufacturing sector, the skills that people have. You know, we've
going out that way as well. There's so much space. Going westwards, there's space to expand.
Plenty.
Jeffreys Bay is the next stop. You know, why not just let's go? You know.
Well, even if you look at the planned future investment in the city, so there's a company called Hive Hydrogen that's looking at putting up a 109 billion rand green ammonia production plant, and if that happens, that would be the biggest inward investment ever into South Africa. But it's not just about that operation; it's the downstream opportunities that would be created from that. And we've got lots of renewable energy here with our sun, and we're not the windiest city. We're the least windiest city on the coastline, but we've got a lot of wind for renewable energy. But we've got everything that's needed to make that succeed. You know, and with the skills we have in the automotive sector, a lot of that can be utilized in the hydrogen economy as well.
Because the engineering, being an automotive city, we're an engineering city, and that means you can make stuff.
Yeah.
Yep, yep.
You can do stuff. You can build tanks,
Yeah.
PPCs, and that's the whole thing going. You know, these silos. There's some amazing engineering going on here.
Yep.
And of course, there's a history of it. So older people, you know, teach the younger people, and it goes forward. It's that's fantastic. But I mean, I see the beer. I see that a lot of companies. That's automotive thing happening there. What is happening? Every time I drive past it, I think I must ask Denise what's happening. Well, these companies are towards. I mean, what is exciting there? What is
billion rand light commercial vehicle plant, and they're the third biggest automotive manufacturer in the world. So that's going to be going up. They've already done the initial groundwork, and they'll start construction soon, and that will be about 1,000 jobs. And in fact, Stellantis has joined the chamber. They're also part of what we're doing. So I think that is a big
They've
positive.
got a lot of brands.
They do. I mean, we met with them in Joburg about 2 months ago.
Yes.
Look, fantastic company. They really are, and we're looking forward to having them in PE. So that's good.
Magic. That's also the French brands, Citroën and
Peugeot,
Alfa Romeo, Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, and BMW's in there as well. I think they've got a lot of different things. So that's amazing. Okay, so but you were talking about 109 billion rand for that hydrogen, green ammonia.
That is big.
But if you look at the spin-off opportunities, so we've got what we call a local economy reinvention think tank that we put together. We started that about a year and a half ago. And we've got interesting engineers and innovators in the city that are all working in the various streams that we've put together. And the one is a hydrogen stream, and they're looking at things like electrolyzer manufacturing, wind turbine manufacturing. That's all spin-off industries that could come out of this. We're also looking at things like fuel cells as another work stream. We're looking at automotive instead of automotive, because we're saying it's much more than, initially the focus was on electric vehicles, but hydrogen-powered vehicles. That is where a lot of things are shifting, and two-wheelers, three-wheelers. You don't just have to build a four-wheel vehicle. So we're trying to push the boundaries in terms of what is possible.
Exciting.
It is exciting. I've heard about these
I can see it in
hydrogen
your face.
engines. I love to think that PE could be on the map as far as these new technologies and stuff go as well, because it bodes so well for the future. Old technology eventually just grows, but if it's new stuff, hey, we can go for it.
We've got the two biggest systems integrators in the country based here. That's Gendermark and S4 integration. And when you go to those companies and you see the innovation that they have there, it's world class. I mean, and and it's local people that started those businesses.
Fantastic. I was Siegfried and the guys there, Gendermark, they're always thinking of new stuff, new ideas. They've got very open thought processes, and I love it.
Yep.
And it is great. And I mean, the initiatives that you're talking about, the clusters. The initiatives that we're doing in those clusters is there anything exciting happening there as well? That'll be like, I suppose, on a smaller scale. We're just talking about those cleanups and fixing the robots and things. And are there
and security? I think
security
the guys are just putting up massive cameras in their clusters, which are monitored by private security companies, and it helps. So we get to spot things quicker and respond quicker as well. So there's a lot of cameras that have been put up.
But I think also what the clusters has taught us, because for us the terminology we're using, it's about if you have a problem, you pull together to solve it. So we also have like a renewable energy cluster where we came together, especially when load shedding first became severe. And we came up with a renewable energy solution where we brought in all the high energy users, and that project is on track. It's a 450 megawatt additional power, and I think end of next year we'll get the solar portion will come on stream. So and that will also help the city and that. But I mean but that's the concept that we're using. So whenever there's a problem, then you
pull together.
And that's how you solve it, and you bring everybody's thinking into it rather than just one person trying to solve
those WhatsApp groups are just
yes. But I think what's important is everybody can contribute to solving a problem, and it's not one person that's right. So I think that's what we've created a space where different people can also become part of everything, you know, and it's not an autocratic environment where it's just this way or the highway, you know.
You both came out of HR.
Not me.
Oh, I thought you were HR as well.
No,
Not really. You were like PR.
Communications.
Yeah, communications. Okay. So Siyolo's certainly.
So I got a degree in HR.
Do you use this stuff? I mean, like head of MD of SPAR, Eastern Cape. Do you find sort of synergies between what you do at work and what you do at the chamber, or is it totally different?
No, there are synergies. I think the chamber is run like a business. It is a business, and so there'll always be synergies, and that's why I think I'm able to move between the two with so much ease. And I've got a second boss.
Yeah, of course, yes. So you're the boss when you're in SPAR, but then when you come here, you got the whip.
Even when I'm on leave, I'm working for Denise. But yeah, I mean, she's such a wonderful asset to the chamber. The work that she's done and her team is absolutely amazing. And the fact that there is, we do recognize, I think, through Denise and the team, that the chamber is made up of many different companies from different sectors of our economy. So you've got the hotels, and so we realize that, and we know that we need to look after them as well. So hence then we talk about the sports, and I think we're meeting the rugby guys soon. I think it's next week or 2 weeks time, to talk about what's happening in rugby. How come we're not getting any international games? We just had soccer now. Stadium was full, short notice, but people bought tickets and people were there. There was one happy fan who saw a beautiful goal and they just couldn't contain themselves. They went on the field, and we got security very, very quickly. So there's hunger for that. People want that entertainment, and they want to see our national heroes, sporting heroes. Playing in our stadium, and we have to drive the soccer guys, we have to drive the rugby guys, with cricket the other day, so that sector of our economy is also important, and I think the chamber realize that, and those are the kind of things that obviously we want to push hard.
I don't know what happened today with the rugby, but I believe there was the guy who was elected as the head of rugby Eastern Cape. I think I just saw briefly in the newspaper there was something.
That's good. We're meeting someone. And
I think so. Because I think it's always been it's normally been the management and the thing, especially with the rugby. It's been a bit of a disaster. Politics. So it looks like. I hope that that's going to bring some stability.
I hope so too. When there's stability, we know who to meet. Getting stuff done, because there's a process that works and a system that works, and that's where we need to get to. I mean, we can't be traveling to all the cities to watch a game of rugby. We should be watching it here. But
and isn't our stadium so beautiful as well? I mean, every time we ride into that.
I mean, the last time we had a rugby match here, I think it was SA versus Ireland.
Long
time ago. I had lots of hair then.
Just probably beat us.
I think we won. Stand to be corrected.
Twice now then.
So it was a long time ago, and that's not acceptable. We're a big city. We're a rugby, in fact, a sporting city. And we shouldn't be starved.
And it should be cheap for people to move here as well, because our economy is. I think it is like that. It's not an expensive place to live. The housing is good pricing. So it always things coming down the coast, man. It's coming down. It's getting, as far as St. Francis, Chamber, it's there. It's right there from the Western Cape. It's coming. People don't want to stay in the Western Cape. It's too bloody busy. Too much going on. We're still undefeated at the new stadium. He says, we don't want any more. Oh my word. Says Michael. It's like the economy is good for us to for attracting people and new companies as well. That should be here. That's right. They should be going. Gary's put a couple of things here as well. Sustainable growth for the and membership for the chamber. You guys advertise it word of mouth. Is it? How do you get the word out there?
Yeah, so we have around 700 members, Okay, so it's businesses small right through to your big ones. And for us to get value out of their membership, they have to be active and involved in the chamber. You know, so I think traditionally there was always a problem where retention of members was a challenge, but I think we've got much better at that now because people can see the value.
Yes.
And for me, it's all about them participating. So when people join, we say, this is everything that we're doing. Where do you see yourself? Where do you want to plug in? And people must get involved. It's there for everybody. We do have to charge membership fees because we are a non-profit organisation. You know, so we
Does it work for little big companies, little ones? And
Yeah, so
if you've got only like, say, for Gary and myself.
No, you pay at the entry level. So
We'll be entry level. We're gonna come and join.
But you have to participate because there's no point joining and then you never participate because then you'll say it was a waste of time.
I think you'd want to. You want to do that. You want to come and join and see what the other guys are doing and help where you can as well.
Yeah, so I think it's a place where people can come together and solve problems, and then we also have connecting. So we have lots of events that bring people together. In fact, we've got a big event coming up this month. It's our annual banquet where we've got 850 people coming.
Jeez.
So
and what's the theme?
No, there isn't a theme this year, I think. I hope not, because
it's the Bay of Opportunity.
I think Denise is going to talk about evolution. I think in terms of where we were and where we are now. And speaking of evolution, you've got your little.
Hey, the evolution of drums. I love it. I can do it. We can bring it. I'm there. I'm there for you.
Free of charge, eh?
Free of charge. I'm in.
Opening act.
I am
Are you in?
so in.
It goes well, evolution.
Shake on it. Bring it. I'm there.
There you go.
We're going to have the evolution of dance, evolution of drums, evolution of classics. You can choose.
Listen, you couldn't say no there, my friend.
What Siyolo is referring to is that this year is actually 160 years of the chamber being in existence.
Oh, wow. 160?
Yeah, so we're theming it. So we're theming it from evolution to revolution because we're saying that over all the decades, it was like a slow evolving chamber. It was very traditional, and now in the last 3 years, it's been a radical revolution. No, we've literally turned the organisation inside out, and we find when other people around the country meet with us, they say, "No, you're not like a chamber. You're different." You know, because we're approaching things different. We've made it up on a clean slate, so we're not looking to the past. It's more about understanding what's in front of you and how do you move forward.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love to hear that.
So that's why your drumming act is going to fit in.
It's right in there. It's right in there.
Perfect.
No, I mean, and it's true that do you mix? Do you sort of get hold of the other chambers in other cities, IDCs and those things?
Denise was telling you about the Cape Town chamber.
Oh, really? Is it a big one?
No,
They're large.
So
Are they full of crap?
Yeah.
Are they rubbish? Are they rubbish? From evolution to revolution, says Tanusha says. From evolution to revolution.
I think we're different to other organised businesses, and we're not trying to be like the others.
Yes.
We want to
make sure we're much better.
We want to be relevant in terms of what's important here, and I think we want to be the best at what we do, and I think for me what's amazing is our board of volunteers, people like Siyolo, they run big businesses and that, but they are so committed. It keeps me going every day. They come to our meetings, and to get people that are all in charge of big businesses agreeing to things
to come in together
and to all get excited about it and getting behind it. For me, that is just the most amazing thing.
Well, you know what the MDs are like. They're difficult people generally, you know. But Siyolo seems to be all right there. No. You're obviously whipping him into shape.
We work very well together.
And the other guys on the board are who I don't know if you probably.
No, Denise knows it very well.
It's a big board. How many people on?
We've got 20 people on the board.
Oh wow! Okay.
So it is a big board, but we have people like Martina Bine, who's the MD of VW, you know, and then you know, so we've got, and you mentioned Loisa, he was our previous president. No, not that one.
Loisa, the previous president.
Yeah. You know, so we've got a mix of different people and from different sectors, but they're all very passionate about the city. I think that's what we all have in common, you know, and very active. So I have a rule, like when you come on the board, you have to be active, and you know, I put the board members under pressure, even though they don't get paid. And we keep asking for more
Yes, of course. You know, Denise can do that.
And she gets it.
She gets it right.
She gets it right all the time. All the
Go
time.
to these
All the
Gen
time.
X.
Yeah.
All the
That's
time.
it.
Yeah.
You know. 'Cause I played at a matric dance, you know, that after,
No, you were
at an
saying
after
earlier.
party.
No, you were
It
saying
was the
earlier.
worst, one of the worst gigs I did in my life. It was terrible.
Played at the after party.
I would play the after party in the middle of nowhere. It was ridiculous. in the middle of the bush.
Good old days.
So collaboration with other organizations, which other than
Yeah.
do you look nationally as well?
Yes, so we've actually formed quite a lot of partnerships. So we've got a formal partnership with NAMSA, they represent the automotive industry, NARCAM, the automotive component sector, and then the Consumer Goods Council, they actually represent 20% of the national economy with all the retailers, so like SPAR belongs to
Yeah, we put it in. Yeah, we put
yeah,
it in.
and then we also have informal linkages with organizations like Business Leadership South Africa. So I don't know if you know about that organization, but there's a lady called Busi Mavusa that runs that organization.
Very
Most
strong.
phenomenal person.
Very, very strong.
She actually spoke at our ladies' breakfast event last year, and I mean, she had the ladies jumping up and down and cheering because she was on fire, literally.
That's
But,
good. Wow.
but I mean, we've got a very nice relationship with them. We also work with the Presidential Climate Commission. And the Public-Private Growth Initiative, you know,
Is that for like sustainability and
yeah, and
climate change and that sort of thing?
yeah. So we've also
Carbon
got
emissions.
the green economy is one of our work streams in the local economy reinvention think tank. So we're also looking at projects with them. Hemp, for example, is something that we're looking at as well.
Well, you know.
No, but in the automobile, where your boot liners and your
Okay.
sound deadening products and so on, we've actually got samples prepared. And if we can help manufacturers to reduce their carbon footprint, then from an export perspective, it also increases those opportunities as well. So
using those products. Well, and also I suppose when you want to hear less sound, then you just smoke a nice big old hemp product.
Yeah.
But no, that's amazing. So looking at new and sustainability, it's organic stuff.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's fantastic.
But the national partnerships are important, because and the thing is, we've also been very clear that we're not just an automotive city. So we've got those alliances with the automotive organizations, but we're also making sure we're diversifying. And we've also started talking to the agriculture guys, and because you've got Agri SA. And
can you advertise so that you do talks elsewhere? Say, come on, guys, invest here. This is it part of the
no,
thing?
It's funny that you raised that. We actually launched a trade and investment desk in June this year. And we've actually appointed a dedicated person behind it, and the Eastern Cape Development Corporation has appointed a person alongside our person together to market the Bay of Opportunity. And Lunga, my colleague, him and I went to Joburg earlier this year. We did a roadshow there, and then we also went to Cape Town. So when we were in Cape Town, for example, we had a briefing with various consulates. And we presented the Bay of Opportunity to them. And they basically, when we finished, they said, well, some of them said they hadn't even thought of coming here because they've only heard negative things about the city, and we gave them more of a balanced view. So they've started engaging with us, and we've met with a lot of our partners in Joburg. And I think what we've been good at doing is bringing in companies whose head offices are based in Joburg. So normally you'd have the likes of your Volkswagens and so on that form the base of your support. But now we've got Rand Merchant Bank, BDO, at a head office level where they are very interested in what we're doing and they believe in the city. So I think we need to get more interest from Joburg, Cape Town, and paying attention to what we're doing, because a lot of investment is driven by sentiment. You know, so you mustn't underestimate. You know, I spoke about mindset earlier.
Relationships and peace. It's just that exactly what you say is that you go up there, they realize, hang on, there's a private sector here that's motivated.
Exactly.
Driving a positive narrative.
And positive, and let's have a look, because the government is the government, whatever. That's going to just carry on.
But you know what's funny is when I get a lot of these visitors coming to the chamber, and they come from whatever country, and you have to present to them about the city, and you know when they walk in the door, they've heard about the crime issues, they've heard about all the issues, and you don't try and hide it. You say, yes, that's what it is. But the good news is we've got the most incredible business community, and our asset in the city is our people, and these are the lengths that our people are willing to go to. And you must see how impressed These people are, and they say they've never experienced anything like this anywhere in the world.
Fantastic.
So that is a huge strength.
It is.
But I really hope that the political environment improves, that we start to see GNU at a local level, where the best interests of the city and its people are put first, because I think that will also help in terms of driving the business agenda. And then we also need, I think ESCOM has been very good in terms of its turnaround, and we've actually got a good relationship with them. We need Transnet to go faster and accelerate what needs to be done there. Then I think it is possible for South Africa and for our city to be very well placed on this continent, and especially when you look at the geopolitical environment and what's happening in other countries and the wars they have and the crazy people they have in charge.
The presidents they choose.
The presidents are choosing.
I'd rather have Ramaphosa than Trump, if you ask me. So I think we've got more going for ourselves than we realize, but we all just have to pull together.
I also say that especially someone like PEs, is just that it doesn't take much. It's not an expensive fix.
Yes,
we can fix it.
It's fixable.
It's fixable.
It's not expensive.
It's fixable, and just like you're saying, the fact that the business is pulling together. I even saw a bit of that in East London. I was up in East London. East London is just battling as well, But the business community there, they stick together and they fight. It's okay. Sorry, say. Oh, some comments. Is there a cluster for education? Oh, some comments, Philippa says. She says, is there a cluster for education at all? Is it geo clusters? So it'd have to be schools in that area.
I don't think we have one.
Yeah, or is there an education thing?
We've been asked that before, and we've also been asked if there's a medical cluster, and so there are businesses that are wanting to form sectoral clusters, and I think our challenge at the moment is we don't have the capacity to take on more people to run.
We were asked the other day to adopt a prison.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
So getting all these requests.
I think somebody like Philippa could organise that cluster and then bring it to you.
And I think if people are willing to do that and take the leadership in driving it, then we will support it.
Then you'll look at sectoral as opposed to...
But I think if there is a need for these other clusters to be developed, then we need people that are willing to step up and lead, and then they must be willing to put the work behind it. Because you often find people go to these things, but they don't want to stick up their hand and they expect someone else to...
No, Philippa's not like that. There we go. People are the business. You're so right, Roseanne. You're so right. And the biggest blueprint for SA right in the Bay of Opportunity we do. We've got it is the blueprint. Totally. And the way the chamber is structured as well, compared to others, like you say as well, that also makes such a difference.
Well, I think maybe to put it in context, I think that a lot of organizations around the country are very focused on complaining and moaning and, on the negative in terms of what the issues are, but they're not coming forward with the solutions. And I think that's where we're different. So it's not about, like I said, we're not naive, but you need to look at what the potential is and then how can you get there. And I think that's where we've kind of...
We're certainly fighting as well for those. I mean, like electricity we're talking about now, the proposed increases are loony.
43.5%.
43.5%.
We were told initially 36%, I think.
So they've just, I don't know where they get these numbers from, but they just sucked it out wherever they did, and they've decided on 40. So you guys are going to have to fight that now.
Well, and nurses having briefings around the country, and we're going to be present next week on Wednesday when they're in the city. So we will definitely oppose it and give our story why it's not possible.
And we've got to get the word out there so that at least the people know what's happening as well. It's like, because you need momentum,
Yeah, and I think that it shouldn't just be business that steps up. We need all sectors of the community to get involved. Like we've got the Nelson Mandela Bay Civil Society Coalition that we part of, but we need every single sector to start having a voice. And I think if we all play our part, then we can start influencing these changes and pushing things in a more sustainable direction.
Electricity has just become so expensive. I mean, you remember 3 or 4 years ago, you bought electricity for like 1,000 rand, you got 1,000.
1,000 things. Now
it's 256 or whatever it is.
Crazy.
I mean, that's just crazy. And these guys, they ask for 40%. knowing full well that they're going to get 15%.
Yeah,
And we give them 50%, they get 15%. We're like, oh wow, no, we fought well and we won. We didn't, because they were looking for the 15% anyway. So these are the games that they play, we're just going to go out there and fight it as much as we can.
Good. Well, it's. I love to know that at least there's somebody looking out for this stuff. Okay, a few more questions here. Let's networking opportunities for the members as well. You're talking about these things. Do you have? How often do you have them? And what are they called? How do you structure these?
Yeah, so we have different types of events. So all the time there's events on the go. Some of them are small events, and some can be speed networking type events or informative sessions.
So Cheryl Reynolds, she had some of that stuff going on, and she liked that stuff as well.
And then we also have flagship events like the banquet that I spoke about, but we also have a golf day where we had a record turnout, the most the PE Golf Club has ever had, and we broke that record 2 years in a row. So we have
at the hill.
Fantastic. So it's a varied range of events that we do. But for me, the big thing is the connecting and bringing businesses together, because I think that's where you really get your value in terms of growing your own business and your network.
And then that in turn leads to the business doing better, more jobs, more things. So, I mean, actually direct community stuff, do you get involved in that stuff, or is that mainly that is handed to the companies that do that stuff?
Okay, so we're a non-profit organisation, so we need businesses to support us. But for example, when there's a disaster, the first call I normally get is from Gift of the Givers.
Oh, wow.
And then we make a joke about our disaster management is a disaster. And then they normally hear very quickly, and they use our offices from which to operate, and then we support them however we can to get support into the community. So we do quite a bit in the community. We also have a corporate social responsibility cluster that's working together, and it's a couple of companies that have said, well, if we all unite and we do one big impact initiative, then we can have a better impact. So they're still working on that, and that will be interesting to see where that goes. So we are doing more community initiatives, but like I said, at the same time, we're also a non-profit. So we're also trying to raise funds because I need to hire more people that are more skilled so that we can do.
And the salaries and stuff. The
office is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. For a good reason, though. I think there's a lot of projects that are going on, and it's meaningful projects. Projects that we deriving value from, and so we have to keep going.
Training and development, mentoring, that sort of thing as well.
Yeah, we're actually launching a skills development desk now. We got support from Harambee. They're very focused on youth unemployment. And we're going to be launching that in the new year. But a big focus for us will be technical skills, because that's where that's where you have vacancies and there's a shortage of. We
lots of talent coming in, you need that kind of skill.
And you don't want them to poach from the other manufacturers. So we're also all trying to find a way to work together. And also when companies maybe have displaced skills where they have to reduce jobs, maybe we can match them up to the new investor. So it's simple things like that you can do as well.
Because you've got that overview kind of look.
Exactly right. To your point earlier, we've got.
You're like, okay, hang on, well, this guy here doesn't know about this guy here.
Let's bring him together.
Let's bring him together, and I know he's got skills like this.
Correct.
And he's got
correct. And that's what he needs. So let's.
Fantastic, man. And so for PE's future, for NMB, what's exciting that's coming? I mean, talking about this like 109 billion. I mean, that's like that's insane. I just so hope that that's going to come true. And how far down the line is it? Is it those things? Is there anything that's happening now that's?
I think Denise has spoken about those. I think what we want to do is to create more jobs. It's so sad to see our kids leave this city to go and work in a Joburg or a Cape Town because we can't provide work for them. So I think as a parent, it doesn't sit too well.
My own son too.
Exactly right. Going to Cape Town or going overseas. So we need to provide these opportunities for our kids. And the only way to do that is to have a city that functions, a city that works, a city that people want to invest in. And that's our job. That's our job in the chamber. Ultimately, if you want to simplify it, we must grow this city, and we must make sure that it becomes attractive. and that whenever there's a big event happening in the country, they must call us first. And can we do it? Of course we can do it.
Yeah.
Of course we can do it. And everybody looks at Cape Town and what they're doing. I'm saying, you know what, we can be better than that. I think we have a whole lot more to offer, provided that we are stable in terms of politics, and we work on crime, make sure that it becomes lesser of a problem. And these things are doable if there's a will and there's a busy community that wants this city to be great. We can definitely do it, no doubt. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm getting involved, because I really believe that we can.
Yeah, and I mean, you ex-Muir boy, The Hague, Newton Hague, Karika, and a VP girl. I'm super proud.
Local is lekker.
Yes, you know,
we are not imports. We come from
we're proper PE people, born and bred, and I just love it, you know. And I know that you love the city, and I do as well. And you know, like you just touched on the fact that our kids are going out. We want our kids back here, you know. If you want your kids to stay, let's make this place happen, you know. Let's do it.
Yeah, and I think we've also exported so much talent from here to other parts of the country and overseas, and we need to make it a place where people like that actually want to come and work. Because if you look at the balance we have here in terms of it can be a great place to work and live. You know, when you think of our outdoor life, I mean, the valley that you got out here, it's stunning. Unspoiled beaches, game reserves, you know.
And also we have an idea of showcasing those people that were born here and they've gone outside of the Eastern Cape and they've become successful. So Denise has come up with this idea, which is going to be fantastic. We're still putting it together, but you must watch out for that.
There's a lot of talent out there from PE side.
And we have to acknowledge that. And I think it just brings in a sense of pride into the city, which is very important. So watch out for that. I think
Well, if my little program can help that stuff, I'm
in fact, we will launch it here.
I'm there like a bear. Ruben Snyders, let's have a look and see his Victorian legends as well. He says, PE people make it work. Ruben, you're right. Brew. And Roseanne saying, we got the blueprint for the SA right here in the Bay. Love the professionals, social connects and women empowerment workshops. Oh, is that the women empowerment workshops as well?
Yep.
Okay. Rosie will be on the front line.
I'm not invited in those ones. I'm still waiting for my invite.
Never
comes. Maybe one
Victorian legends. I see that there as well. It's us. That's us, Denise. VP legends. And Ruben, thank you so much for joining us tonight, guys. Thank you for the update. And we will have you guys on again, because I know there's always changes. Like you say, every week there's something new happening. What happened to that fish farm story? You think was that ever going to materialize? Was the fish thing?
I haven't heard much about it. Okay. It's gone very quiet.
It's gone quiet now. The surfers didn't like that because they said it was going to attract the sharks. And of course the bunkering is the problem. The other thing is the bunkering. We've got to stop the bunkering. You know, because I know Arnold Slubbers is always the one to say, and Lloyd Edwards was the reggae chartist guy, saying that the bunkering in the bay is a problem, and I don't know if it's a tax dodge or whatever it is, but it's the only bay that's allowing this bunkering apparently, and so that's another thing we've got to attack at some stage. Come on. Say, let's work together. Excellent. I like to hear that. It's a friendly city, and it is.
No,
you go for a walk on the beachfront, you can say hello to everybody.
Correct.
Or maybe it's just me. I don't know.
No, it's not just you.
And when you go to other countries, like my brother lives in Germany, and when you go out walking there and you greet people, they don't greet you back. And when I come back here, you immediately relieved when you come to our airport and people smile. You know,
that's true.
No, it's a big strength.
It's true. When Siyolo, I know you're still running, Siyolo.
Yes.
You're still doing a bit of running. No, you say yes, but you're not
I had to
too
pause
often.
it. Not too often. I'll still run a bit.
But that's also, I always greet everybody when I run. That's PE for you. It's always like that. And you know everybody. But thank you so much, guys, for coming on, both of you. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank
and
you
what you're doing is and fantastic. I love it, and
thank you for
we'll give you as much support as we can give. Absolutely. And for the rest of you as well. We have a competition. We do have a competition. Have you got it up there? I don't know if Philippa can. There we go. Big up. Onse mense. You'll have to put it onto the screen there. And we've got a thing where we give away some Fitch and Leads. I don't know if it's Philippa's our tech's getting it right here. We pull the lever, and then the winner. There we go. We can do it there. We do lucky draw, and we draw from all the people that have done comments. And let's see who's going to win the Fitch and Leads. It's a whole case of Fitch and Leads will be sent to you by Fitch and Leads themselves. It's a dead Byron. HR and Conti. Fantastic. Thank you to our sponsors, Fitch and Leads, and thank you to Amobia for our internet, and Fat Cats for our lovely food, which we'll have some now as well. And we'll see you next week. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining Gino Spot. And cheers.
Relax, sit down. Coming out of PE town. Drink, find a shot. Never mind your liver, get to Gino Spot.
Gino Spot.
Get to Gino Spot.
Gino Spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your mental. Have a